Hey, my friend, Tammy Hartman here, and I want to teach you some tips and tools how to free your flows and feel fabulous, especially during this time, okay? We're going to take a holistic view, talking about your structure, the nutrition, emotional, electrical, and spiritual aspect, a holistic view, and we're going to focus on the lungs. Okay, this disclaimer, this is not to replace any medical advice. This is for educational purposes, blah, blah, yada, yada. So right now we are in a time of we need each other. We're in this together. So let's talk about our structure and our body. Let's talk about our flows in the body, right? We have blood flow, we have airflow, like our respiratory system, and we also have an energy flow. And this energy flow is like the acupuncture meridian system. And, Eastern medicine says where there is no flow, there's pain and problems. So it's important that we keep all of these flows going, and I'm going to teach you more on that. So right now, because we're in this constricted time, a lot of people we're having to stay in our homes, so there's a lot of constriction, and we need to expand. So think of a blood vessel. If a blood vessel was constricted, do you have blood flow? No. So what do we want? We want dilation, so we will have blood flow. Same thing with your breathing. If your bronchial tubes are constricted, you don't move your airflow, right? So the goal is to dilate those bronchioles so you can have flow. So today, right now, I'm going to tell you, let's talk about the lungs, because we are constricted. Our lifestyle has changed. We're slowing down. So a lot of people have forgotten to breathe, and there's so much focus on the lungs anyway, and they're baby breathing. So if you haven't taken some deep breaths for a while, sit down first because you might get dizzy. So just stop right now and take 3 deep breaths. Take breath in and bring it into your lungs. Expand your lungs and let that out. Next breath, take it in and expand your belly like a balloon. Let that out. And now just take a breath in and expand your whole abdominal trunk cavity. And expand that out and release. And that helps move so much, and it helps with your sympathetic nervous system to calm you down, get you out of fight or flight just by taking deep breaths. So if you would take 3 deep breaths throughout the day, that will help keep that flow, the energetic flow going. It helps with so much. Go outside. Luckily it's the time of year, it's April. Most of us can go outside, so go outside, take in some fresh air. It's okay. Take some fresh air, touch a tree, go barefoot in the grass, and just really take it in. Your body needs that. Movement, we're talking about flow. So movement, you've got to move your body. So if you can move your body, whether it's walking, running in place, jumping, anything to move your body, it expands the lungs, your heavy breathing, and it's so good for you. And let me remind you, it is April. So it is a change of season, which a lot of people are affected by allergies. This is an allergy season. So remember, if it affected your respiratory issues before the coronavirus, it will probably affect them now. So this education is trying to help you discern what may be going on, because there could be lots of processes going on, but we're just so stuck in this fear of if I have a breathing problem, it's going to be bad, but it's not always bad. And let's remember, if you had allergies before, if you had wet lungs before, and what I mean by that is if you're a person that has like a lot of congestion, like you always have, you have a lot of post-nasal drip, drains out, you're coughing most of the time, or a lot of times, you can help move that by percussing. So you can take your hands, or you can it's always more fun with a partner, but I don't have a partner here right now. So if you can just take your hands and, you can just, pat yourself all over where your lungs would be, and your partner could do that all over your backside. And if they could do that all the way across, all the way down, all the way up and down, that helps break up some of that mucus that may have formed inside the lungs. It just helps move the flow. And plus, if you'll see, look at all of these acupressure points. So you're stimulating some acupressure points, you're moving lymph, and you're getting some secretions off the wall of your lungs, and it's really good for you. And while you're there percussing the back of somebody, when you're finished, then just take your hands and just go right down either side of the spine. It's called a spinal flush. And you can do that 3 times, just from the base of their neck all the way down to their tailbone. And just, they'll love it, and then maybe they can help you. If you don't have somebody to help you with that, I've had clients that have used like those little handheld massagers and just move it around their body to help move fluid and secretions, and that's very helpful too. Jumping, rebounding in place, that helps move lymph, helps move secretions. So that's for the body. Now, nutritionally, so we've heard, eat good whole foods. Eat oranges, vitamin C. Let's think of that. High quality supplements. Broccoli, mushrooms, onions. My dad used to have an onion sandwich. It's called a hillbilly sandwich. I'm telling you, I don't recall him ever hardly being sick, ever. And he was 80 before he was ever hospitalized for the first time. So food is medicine. So stay away from excess processed foods. It just creates a lot of inflammation, adds to the mucus, adds to a lot of problems in your entire body. And if you are having some secretions and things in your lungs, avoid dairy. All those fun comfort foods, the ice cream and the yogurts and your milk and cereal. That milk and dairy products add secretions. It makes the phlegm thicker. So if you can avoid that, great. That would be wonderful for you. Emotionally, this is my jam. This is my jam. So emotionally, right now, there's a lot of emotions going on. Let's break the word down. Emotion. So it's energy in motion. So we have an experience, we have these emotions, and we're supposed to experience it and then move it on through. But we're human, and we hang on to these emotions, especially the negative ones. The low vibrating emotions, those are the ones that stick. And we're very good at cultivating, holding on to a bunch of stuff too, right? So right now, collectively, we are experiencing grief. I mean, if you've lost somebody, you've lost your job, we all have lost our lifestyle, what we're used to doing. So everyone is experiencing some kind of grief, loss, or sadness. And what's interesting in that, when the mind gets stuck and we hold on to these emotions, because they're not flowing through with these emotions, they collect and they get stagnant and they get trapped, or and unresolved, and it goes somewhere, and it goes somewhere in the body. So interestingly enough, this grief and sadness and loss, guess where that settles? That settles in the lungs. So I want you to move this grief through every day, all day long, whatever you need to do. I'm going to tell you to journal, and journal doesn't have to be anything, fancy. It's writing it out. It's taking it from your mind. It's out of your mind, out of your hand, onto a piece of paper. You're getting it out. You're moving it. You're creating flow with that grief, with that loss. I lost my job. I lost whatever it is you lost. And then you can throw that paper away, like you're done with it. You've released it. Or you can keep it in a journal and keep track of everything you're releasing. And 6 months from now, you're going to look back and go, wow, I survived that. I cannot believe I survived all of that. Because we are going to survive all of this. I also want to give you some lung points. So lung points in acupressure. So you can move. It helps break up the congestion. And listen, thoughts are energy. Thoughts are things. So by moving this point, it's right in the shoulder. So come up from your arm crease, and it may be tender in there. So you can move that around. Same side, go up your arm crease where your shoulder meets your trunk, and that is a lung point. You can go up and down. That helps break up congestion on the sternum all the way up and down. There's another point. If you take the crease of your elbow, follow your crease, and right before the bone, just move that around, push around, move. You may have to feel around. You'll find a sore spot. Trust me, you'll find a sore spot. So by massaging that, you're giving yourself some acupressure for the lung point, helping move that sadness, that loss, the grief. It just helps you move that through. Also, in the stages of grieving, we've been doing this for a couple of weeks now, and maybe you've moved on from this really deep sadness, and maybe you're crying, and that's great. That's releasing too. Trust me, cry. It is movement. It is flow. Let the tears flow. And also, if you're angry, the stages of grief, maybe you're in the anger part. Well, let that out. You can express it through writing, like I was telling you before. Maybe you need to get a pillow and scream in a pillow. Maybe you have a punching bag. Maybe you need to, lift weights and be really, really aggressive, or, don't hurt yourself, of course. So anything that you can do to help release that and move the flow. We want to release all of this. And I think I've got everything there. So, in my opinion, this emotional part is one of the biggest pieces of all of this. We need to keep all of these emotions moving. Our electrical system. Okay, this is our meridians, like we've done with the acupressure. We have chakras, which are energy centers on the outside of us. But what I'm going to tell you is we are electrical, correct? What is an EEG, an EKG, an EMG? Those are the electrical measurements of your brain, your heart, and your muscles, right? So we are electrical. And what is the best conductor of electricity? it's water. So right now it's crucial for you to stay hydrated. Water will help your cellular communication, your electrical, the electrons, neutrons, protons in your cells, all of that communication is going to go well. If you have secretions, it's going to thin your secretions so you can help flow that out. So stay hydrated. And then I just so hope that this is helpful. I pray that all of this education will give you a little discernment of what might be going on, and you have some real practical tools that you can use right now, and I would advise you use them every day, that you move, you make flow every day. You keep flows going every day, all day long. And I want to leave you with the spiritual aspect. This is true. This is truth. And it's Isaiah 40:31. But those who wait on the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings like eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint. So see this. See yourself not weary. See yourself soaring. See that picture. Take that picture. Put it in your mind. You are soaring high, overcoming, and all of this will be soon over, and you'll be so wonderful. It's going to be wonderful. So that is your spiritual food, your spiritual flow. See that, flow it into your heart, flow it in and on and around you. And that, my friend, is the end. So I love you. Take care.